Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mesma Delight and here I post sewing tutorials. Today's tutorial is all about the drafting of a pattern of this trendy basket knit corset top. This corset top is actually been in fashion a lot, like you see it everywhere. You could Pinterest to your Instagram. Anyways, this video will have three parts. The first part will be the drafting of the pattern. The second part will be how to achieve the basket knit, and the third part will be the finishing process. I'll be showing you things I wish I also did differently in this tutorial. So with that, let's just get right into the video. Okay, so the first thing I did, I placed my pattern paper and I drew a straight line at the top part. That will be where I will start drafting whatever I will draft. Now you need to mark your shoulder to bust, your shoulder to your under bust, your half length, the full length of your whatever you're working with, plus your extra 2-inch allowance. So here I actually forgot to mark my half length, but I'll still mark it later on. So you mark your shoulder to bust, your shoulder to under bust, your half length, the full length of the blouse you're working with, plus your extra 2-inch allowance. Having done that, next I want to do is I want to use my ruler to mark straight lines. I'll connect all those points I marked. First of all, you connect your bust line, connect your under bust line, connect your half length line, and connect the full length line plus your allowance line. After doing that, I'm writing SH for shoulder, B for bust line, UB for under bust. This one I realized I didn't mark my half length, but then over next line we have FL full length and AL allowance. So what I want to do next is that half length I skipped, I want to mark it now. Okay, so this is just me marking that half length. After marking the half length, I'll go ahead to write HL for half length. So we're done with that. What I want to do next is on our shoulder line, I want to divide our shoulder measurement by 2. Make a mark there. After that, for my chest line, I do get my chest line by adding 1 inch to the division of my shoulder measurement. So if your shoulder is like 7.5, your chest line will be 8.5. Whatever division of shoulder measurement is, add 1 inch to that and you get your chest line. So I'm just marking my chest line measurement now. After doing that, I'll use my ruler to connect those dots. Okay, having done that, I write CH and that is for chest line. Now I'm going to mark the division of my shoulder measurement on that chest line. Now I want to connect my shoulder measurement on my shoulder line and on that chest line. Now that's done. Next is my neckline. Instead of using 3 by 3, I decided to use 3.5 by 3.5. Now use my pattern master to create a curve. Next, on that new line I made, that's my armhole line, I want to go down by 1 inch for my shoulder measurement. This is just to create my shoulder slope. So for my neckline, I'm creating a slanted line all the way to that 1 inch I went down by. Now, what I want to do next is I want to mark my nipple to nipple measurements. I'm marking my nipple to nipple measurements from the full length of our blouse all the way to our bust line. This part I'm marking on my chest line is actually a mistake. You should mark it from your bust line all the way to your allowance line. So don't mark at your chest line, just bust line to your allowance line. I will correct that mistake I made. Okay, now at my shoulder slope, I want to get the midpoint of my shoulder slope. After getting the midpoint, I will make a mark at the center part of that. Now I'll draw a line all the way to my nipple to nipple measurement on my bust line. So if you notice, I'm totally ignoring that nipple to nipple measurement on my chest line. Okay, so let's do what I do. Now that's done. What I want to do next is that using my tape on my underbust, I want to mark 0.7 inch at both sides of my nipple to nipple measurement line. Mark 0.75 on the right side and 0.75 on the left side of it. Then I'll use my ruler to connect straight lines that from top to bottom. I equally do the same on the other side. Now on the bust line, I'm going up by 1.5. Now from that 1.5, I want to create curves all the way to my underbust. Just create your curves like you see me creating mine. Okay, that's done. Now on my chest line, I try to go up by 2 inch. Now you can go up by 1.5 and go up by 2 inch. You can go up by 2.5. It just depends on how you want your cleavage to appear. So I later reduce this. Sorry, I'm using 2 inch for mine. I'm using 2 inch for mine. So after marking that 2 inch, I'll use my ruler to connect a straight line. Okay. Now on this newly created line, I want to mark 0.7 inch at both sides of that line. Next, I will connect use my pattern master to connect a line all the way to my bust line. So just do just like you see me doing now. I'll do the same at the other side of this. Connect the line from the 0.7 I went in by. Okay, having done that, next one to do now is work on my armhole. From that shoulder slope at my armhole line, I want to go down all the way to my chest line, get the midpoint, and make a mark there. Now at that midpoint, I will go in by half an inch. Then I'll connect from my shoulder slope to that midpoint, and then all the way to my chest line. Okay, so now that's done. What I'm doing next is that on my chest line, that's your chest, my chest line, I said to use 0.7. Now this 0.7 is going to serve as a distance between my two cups. So I mark 0.7 for my chest line. I'm maintaining my chest line. Then I'm going to create a curve. So using my pattern master, I'll create a curve just like this. From 0.7 all the way to that the upper part of this. Now that's done. Now I'll connect again from that 0.75 to my under bust. That leg is at my under bust. So that's what I'm doing and do just like now. So that is our cup one. Next thing is at this other side, I decided to go in by 5 inch. Now you can go in by 5 inch, you can go in by 4.5, you can go in by 3.5 or 3 safe. For anyone, it just depends on the size of your bust. So now on my chest line, I decided to go down by 0.7 inch. So now I'm going to use my pattern master to create a straight line at that 0.7 inch I did now. Okay. So now I'm going to try to like make sure that my 5 and that 0.7 I went down by are at the same line. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but just watch what I'm doing and do just like mine. So we're going to turn our pattern master over and I'll create another curve from that 5 all the way to my underbust. So make sure you keep your pattern master in such a way that your bust has enough room to sit in. Okay, so now that's done. So I have my cup 1 and my cup 2. So I decided to make this a 3-part corset cup. I was like saying, should I do a 3-part corset cup or should I just leave it just the way it is? I decided to try a 3-part corset cup. But if you don't want to make yours a 3-part corset cup, immediately you reach this stage, you're done. What you just need to do next is put your body measurement, add the allowance, and you can go ahead and cut this. So if I should make this a second time, I wouldn't make mine to be a 3-part corset cup. I'll just do it normal. This two is going to be a 3-part corset cup. Okay, so this just me. I decided to make it a 3-part corset cup. So from that top part, I'm going in by 3 inch. At the other side, I want to go in by another that same 3 inch. Then at the end part of this, I want to go in by 2.5, and here I will go in by 2.5. So I have 2.5, 3 inch, 2.5. What we want to do next is our pattern master to create those curves. So just see what I'm doing and do yours like mine. That's if you want yours to also be a three-part corset cup. Okay, now that I'm done with that, we have our cup one and our cup two. So I'm marking arrows to where the arrows supposed to be and writing up to up and down to down. Just see everything you do and do yours like mine. This is going to be so like when you start joining each part together, it's going to be easier for you, like you wouldn't get confused. Okay, so now after I'm done with this whole cup thing, next what we do now is to divide our bust measurement, sorry, by four. Add your that's allowance back. So my bust measurement divided by 4 by replacing that allowance. You do your under bust measurement divided by 4, replacing that allowance. Then we have our waist measurement divided by 4 plus that allowance. And lastly, at this other part, at the downward part, we're going to use our hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra plus adding our that allowance. Now that we're done with that, we're going to use a ruler to connect each and every of these points. Now, what we're connecting now is all of is our measurements without our extra amount to do with allowance. So I'm still going to add our sharp. So I'm connecting these parts together now. Okay, so you take away that sharp end and that point. What I'll do next is now mark my extra 2 inch sewing allowance. Don't forget to add your extra 2 inch sewing allowance. After I'm done marking this 2 inch allowance, I will make marks there. Just like the same way we did. Okay, we're done with that. I'll write, take away that sharp end again and I'll write AL. That stands for allowance. Next I want to do now is on our yoke. I'm trying to extend that like I'm trying to create an armhole curve using that armhole line. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but see what I'm doing. That our armhole line, that's our straight line. I just kind of created a curve. In case you don't get what I'm saying, just watch what I did so you can just do yours like mine. So I have my yoke and then my cups. It does now. Just remember one last thing we need to do. That's to create that curves that's at the end of our blouse. Okay, so at that point of my dart, I decided to go up by 2.5. So now I'm going to create like a curve, like a, let's say a C curve from that 2.5 all the way to the center part of my pattern paper. So just see the way I kept my curve, my pattern master, and you keep yours like that, and you also create your own curve. So now that's done. I'll go over to the other part of my dart, the other side of my dart. I'll go up by the same 2.5. Okay, now for the other side of this dart, like the length of our curve, sorry, we're going to measure okay, hold on, I'm just marking something, but I will still go back to measure the other part of this. Hold on, yeah, putting my tape at that point, I want to get exactly what I have there, and I'll make a mark at the other side. That's how that will be the, will I say, the width of the curve. So now I'm going to create another curve this way. Good. Now from that point, I'll measure the same thing I have before. Then I'll go up by that same 2.5. Now I'll take the curve up to that 2.5. In case you don't get what I'm saying, just watch the video. I think you will understand it. That's done. And next, we'll take the curve all the way down. The next thing now is to just cut this out. Okay, now for the back part of this, I place my pattern paper again. I mark the straight line at the top part, which will serve as the starting point of whatever I will draft. So I need my shoulder to bust. We'll need our half length and we'll need the full length of our gown. Sorry, for our top plus our extra 2-inch allowance. So your bust line, your half length line, and the full length of your top. So I'm working with the same half length I used for the front. So now I want to use my ruler to connect my bust line, to connect my half length line, to connect my allowance line, sorry, my full length line. Don't forget to add the extra 2-inch allowance. That's for the length. Next, I'm dividing my shoulder measurement by 2. Make a mark there. I could get my chest line by adding 1 inch to the division of my shoulder measurement. So that's my chest line I'm writing right now, which is 9.5. Use my ruler to connect a straight line. This new line is my chest line, and this is my chest line. I'm going to mark the division of my shoulder measurement. But before that, HH for shoulder line, CH for chest line, B bust line, HL half length line, FL full length line, and AL for my allowance. So at my chest line, I'm marking the division of my shoulder measurement. Make a mark there. Connect that division, connect my shoulder line and that 8.5 at my chest line together. Next, for my chest line, for my armhole line, sorry, I'm going down by 1 inch. From that 1 inch, I'm going to get the midpoint from the midpoint of my armhole line. Make a point there. Go in by half an inch and create a curve. That from that 1 inch I went down by to that half an inch all the way to my chest line. Next is for my neckline. My neckline, I'm marking 3 by 1.5. Use my pattern marker to create a curve, my neckline curve. That's done. Now, using my ruler again, I want to mark out my shoulder slope from my neckline all the way to that 1 inch I went down by at my armhole line. That is how you make your shoulder slope. Next, I want to do now, I want to mark my nipple to nipple measurement, as the division of my nipple to nipple measurement from my allowance line all the way to my chest line. After doing that, use your ruler to make a straight line. Divide your shoulder slope by 2. Get the midpoint, make a mark there. Okay, now connect that from there your shoulder slope, division of your shoulder slope all the way to your nipple to nipple measurement at your chest line. Okay, now so that's now what we want to do now is to work on our that. So I'm going in by 0.7 at both sides of this dart leg. Connecting that 0.7 all the way to my chest line. Doing the same for the other side. Taking this measurement all the way down. Having done that, if you remember now, at our front part of our pattern paper from our chest line, we went down by 0.7. We're going to do the same thing at this other side. Whatever you went down by at your chest line for the front, you make sure you go down by the same thing at this back part. So now I'm marking a straight line. And now, so that's done. What I want to do next is I want to start putting in my body measurements. My bust divided by 4. My half length measurement, that's my waistline measurement divided by 4. For the full length of my blouse, I'm using my hip measurement divided by 4. My allowance line, the same thing, my hip measurement divided by 4. After that, once we replace all these dots, then we add our extra 2-inch allowance. Now using our pattern master, we want to connect those points. Okay, now since I want mine to have my yoke, sorry, at this my neckline of my back, I want to go down by 1 inch because I want a keyhole neckline for the back part of this. I'm going to connect it all the way to that leg. Okay, that's done. After doing that now, next thing we want to do now is we want to make marks like for our eyelets. Now from this point, I'm taking out 2 inch, and then down part you can take out 1.5, you can take out 2 inch. It depends on what you want. After doing that, I'm going to connect this using a straight line. This is just me making circles. That will be like where my eyelets will be. Okay, now so that's done. What I'm doing now is I'm going to use my tape now, and that line, like eyelets line, I want to go up by, you can go up by 4, you can go up by 5. But I'm going up by 4 inch from allowance line. I'm trying to go up by 4 inch. I use my pencil to make a point at that side. Yeah, here I'm also going in by 4 inch. So I'm kind of creating a straight line. So when I was drafting this pattern, I didn't make a mistake. That's at this curve part of the back. My mistake is that I decided to take, hold on, look what I did. I said my curve from my my measurements, that's my hip side, all the way to my eyelet point down, which is not supposed to be. I just decided to show you this mistake of mine. And just forward up to me correcting that my mistake. Okay, now let's just, to avoid all those mistakes I made, so what you're going to do now, place your front part on top of this back part. Make sure this allowance line, your full length line are the same. Now this is your full length line, not the allowance line, the full length line. You're going to use a pencil to create a curve. Now see the way I'm creating that curves all the way to you can create the curve all the way to that point of our, what I call that, our curve point. Now I've taken away our front, and now I'm following that same full length line to create a curve that's going to go all the way to my that legs. So I'm drawing the curve from my that legs to my eyelet points. Now for this front part, so I'm going to cut away this. Remember, I created a curve all the way to that what I call it, the point of our zigzag. Okay, so now this is how our front part is supposed to look like. Now for our back part, don't forget we created our curve from that full length point all the way to our eyelet. That's the our that leg at the eyelet point. So in case you don't understand what I'm doing, just look at what I'm doing and do yours like mine. Now that we're done with that, we want to cut this out. So in this whole tutorial, if you don't want to work with a yoke, just ignore everything I do with the yoke. A yoke isn't a must because the style said we didn't have a yoke. I just wanted mine to have a yoke. Down cutting right up to where up is, down to where down is, and use your arrow to for make marks to which part is which so that you wouldn't get confused when you're sewing. Don't forget to write one and two. Okay. So take this aside and next we'll cut out our yokes. Now for our yoke, we're going to do the same thing we did for the front part of it. We're going to draw our eyelet line all the way to our will I say all the way to our armhole line. Just see the way I do it so you can do yours like mine. That's if you want a yoke. Now I'm going to cut out this yoke. Okay, so that's all for the cotton. The next part of this tutorial will be all about how we cut this on top of our thick bridle and how we achieve this basket effect. So this tutorial will have like I told you before, it's going to have like 2 to 3 parts. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood this the drafting of the pattern part of this tutorial. So see you next in the next video. That's going to be the making of this basket.